understand the spring semester has been challenging for everyone. It was quite difficult for us also here in academia, and in particular at Idaho State University. The lectures had to be taught online, and the instructor had to be creative with ways to engage students in discussion, especially in a practical field such as civil engineering. That practical aspect of the lecture and that discussion with the student matters a lot. Fortunately, when we run the first PCI Design Studio in fall 2019, we didn't have any issue, and it was a very successful story. However, we are planning hard and creative for the fall 2020 PCI in PCA Foundation, so we can deliver the content to students in a manner that we promised to PCI Foundation and become more effective. So for that reason, Idaho State University has announced that the classes will begin this August in-person instruction. However, there will be limitations, and there will be protocols in place for safety and health of the student and the instructors. For the precast studio, obviously we have several hands-on lab and tours to precast yard and lectures planned. So just in case if things did not go as we planned, or if the instruction was back online, we are planning to have several virtual tours of precast concrete. However, there is one small precast here at the ISU campus, which is part of a different project that I manage. It's a project where we have brought in hundreds of full-size sections of precast concrete on either PCI or NPCI products. And I think we can definitely use that as an outdoor lab to take students, and that shouldn't be an issue. In addition, if the lab wasn't possible to have students there conducting tests, we are planning to have materials delivered to students so they can do their small experiment themselves, touch concrete, mix concrete, and cast their specimens. Obviously, all of those will be supplemented by videos and clips. So it's an uncharted territory. We're doing our best to make sure that they get a similar experience and the most benefit of the studio this year. And I wish everyone else and our colleagues best of luck with their design studios. And again, thanks to PCI Foundation for sponsoring us.
So these are just some of the designs that came out of the studio. After spring break, we had a little bit of an opportunity right before spring break to work on conceptual design. But essentially from after spring break, we did everything via Zoom. And so we would live comment on people's drawings, and we essentially ran our Zoom course similar to Studio. So there would be one Zoom call that everybody would listen in on and hear desk crits normally as they would be going. The engineering students would come in as needed during their time. Greg would be there and I would be there. We also commented directly through Annotate. We were able to comment directly on people's drawings. So these are just the results. We don't have any models built, certainly, from the studio as part of it. So everything was done in SketchUp. And as part of the studio, we still like to do wall sections and things like that. You still see things like double T's being shown in the plan and in this section, so that there is some idea of the structure behind the pieces. And we did go through all the wall sections, working with the students to start thinking about how the projects were going to come together in terms of the detailing. This is one of the other examples. Again, you can see here is Camp Hefner and Brooks Hall. And this project mainly came up with two components. There was the studio section, but also a library for the College of Design. And in all of them, there is an architectural panel or a sort of finalization that's being used on the building. So I wanted the students to at least get to some understanding about the architectural quality of the precast in addition to the structural quality.
The School of Architecture at the University of Southern California has been able to continue work on the Carapace Pavilion, our ultra-high performance precast concrete pavilion for Joshua Tree National Park. Unfortunately, starting in March, the university has ruled out field trips for students visiting the construction site at the Clark Pacific precast plant in Fontana. But we have been able to take faculty and alumni to continue the work on site, and we are continuing to work with students on projects that don't require us to gather in groups or to work on site. Our revised schedule has not been pushed back very far, and we still anticipate installation in Joshua Tree this year. I hope